Here I am with the Plucky Squire. The game has two difficulty modes, easy and artist. So the game is kind of like an isometric action RPG, like Diablo. Well, actually there aren't really any real RPG mechanics, so it's more like Zelda, the old Zelda games I mean. Except the puzzles are 10 times dumber. Sometimes the game changes from a Zelda-like and becomes a Mario-like, a basic platformer. And other times, during boss fights, it becomes a punch-out game. I guess they didn't know how to create a game and they went for making a little bit of something for everyone. The isometric action part is obviously the biggest portion of the game and sadly it's the most tedious one, just mashing through all the enemies, no depth, no satisfying feeling, no skill required, nothing. And the puzzles are straight up insulting the intelligence of the player. At first I thought this is a game for 3-year-olds, but then I realized 3-year-olds are not supposed to stare at the screen, so it's a game for autistic 6-year-olds. The story is also very generic and silly, very predictable, the developers are aware of it, the characters are aware of it. The game expects you to hit all the boss you see, to collect currency so you can make uninteresting upgrades, but killing the enemies is a massive waste of time and it doesn't reward you with pretty much anything. Sometimes you do get some of the currency, but it's nowhere near close to what you get from the bosses. The fact that they lock you out of places until you defeat all the enemies is straight up stupid. The game keeps changing the genres I mentioned and somehow it gets worse every time, with even dumber puzzles which are also more tedious, very spongy enemies for no reason, and some platforming sections are straight up atrocious. The story does nothing to keep you hooked. The entire game is played inside a book and at some point you get ejected out of it by the main villain. The graphics do improve, but it's pointless because all you get is more shitty puzzles, even shittier I would say because some of them are actually cryptic, and you also get some shitty stealth sections. Very basic with nothing interesting going on. You might say this game was made for babies, but I think it was made by babies. Just recycling all these sections of different genres when they have failed of making every single one of them. Going in and out of the book constantly to make progress, nothing interesting ever happens. You might say the game has some visual charm to it, but that's really all it has. I don't get the hype over this game.